One of the Crocodile's gangsters shows up at the police station to pick up his arrested wife. He acts like he owns the place. He beats up several police officers, humiliates the chief, and leaves, leaving the station in shock. But a surprise awaits him on the street. The Toppers gang now controls the area. 100 armed thugs surround the gangsters. Sum's brother, the leader of the Axes, finishes him off, almost dancing as he does so. The gangster's wife is seemingly released, but only so that she can be shot in the back in cold blood. The Axes' fame is loud and bloody. They are the most dangerous gang in the area. Only the residents of poor neighborhoods can feel relatively safe. The gangs do not consider them worthy prey. One such place is Pigsty Lane, where residents stand in line even to wash themselves. Here we meet the local characters: a heavy-lifting porter, a quiet tailor, and a noodle chef. At the head of the pigsty is the mistress, a loud, rude woman who is used to suppressing those around her. She keeps her husband under her thumb. If she notices traces of another woman's lipstick on his cheek, her fists come out. The peaceful life is interrupted by two strangers. One introduces himself as the leader of the Axes, showing off his tattoo. His partner, Sin, tries to extort money from the barber, but the residents of the alley quickly stand up for their neighbor. Sin challenges someone to a fair fight and gets a crushing rebuff from a frail peasant woman, who suddenly turns out to be a real fighting machine. The crowd laughs, and the landlady chases the extortionist away with her slippers. But the firecracker he throws accidentally injures Sum, a real man who happens to be nearby. The gangster is about to deal with the locals, but an unknown assailant strikes him with a lightning-fast blow, breaking his back. The Axes call for backup, and dozens of armed thugs fill the pigsty. They search for the killer and threaten to burn the mother and child. Then the loader confesses that it was him and enters the fray. The others join the fight. The tailor unexpectedly demonstrates his fighting skills with rings, and the cook shows his mastery of the stick. The trio literally takes out the entire gang. Later, Sin tells his partner a story about how, as a child, he dreamed of becoming a defender of good, bought a brochure about the palm of Buddha, and wanted to fight evil. But his failure in a fight with petty hooligans finally pushed him onto the path of crime. Finishing their nostalgia, the friends steal ice cream. Xing decides to break into the pigsty at night to deal with her, but only ends up injuring himself. After a series of ridiculous injuries, he miraculously recovers, as if a strange power has awakened in him. Meanwhile, the mistress decides the fate of the trio according to an ancient prophecy. They get the worst of the sticks, which means they have to leave. Sum's brother hires two killer musicians, legendary masters who rank second in the hierarchy of assassins. Their task is to destroy the three fighters from the pigsty. At night, the assassins launch their attack. The musicians play the guzin. Their music itself becomes a weapon. A dozen legs dies instantly. Iron Fist loses his protective rings, and Octagonal Pole barely survives. The hostess is enraged by the nighttime noise and nearly receives a fatal blow, but her furious scream literally breaks the strings on the killer's weapons. The killer musicians have finished their battle. Their instrument sounds again, and they deliver their most devastating blow. But the pigsty owner is not one to be easily broken. With one deafening scream, the killers flee in panic. A moment later, she finds herself in a car between her brother Sum and his accountant, who silently make it clear that she is not welcome here. In the midst of this awkward scene, the gangster's hair accidentally catches fire. Meanwhile, life in the alley comes to a standstill as residents mourn the fallen masters. Octagonal Pole dies, and a terrible truth is revealed. For many years, the couple had hidden the fact that they were kung fu legends who had renounced fame after the death of their own son. A local boy begs them to teach him martial arts, but they explain that only those who show talent in childhood can become true masters. Unable to withstand his injuries, the cook soon dies. At the same time, Singh, a rowdy bully, gets into trouble again. On the tram, he tries to pick a fight with a man wearing glasses, but the man instantly puts him in his place. Singh is angry that he hasn't committed a single worthy crime, and in despair goes to an ice cream vendor. He threatens her with a knife, demanding money, but discovers that the most valuable thing the girl has is hidden separately: the very lollipop that he once refused to give to the hooligans. Sin breaks the lollipop, takes the change, and runs away. The fat man is left empty-handed. Soon Toporov's gang catches Sin and brings him to his brother Sum. They promise him a place in the gang, but first give him a task: to break into a guarded psychiatric hospital and bring a prisoner out of a remote building. After absurd adventures and attempts to escape from the military, Sin reaches the right door and opens it. There he sees a bald, emaciated man on the toilet, the very same master nicknamed the Beast. Years of training have driven him mad, and he is kept under lock and key as a dangerous weapon. Brother Sum suspects that Sin has come to the wrong door, but his doubts disappear when the Beast effortlessly stops a bullet with 2 fingers. The Beast instantly reduces the club to ruins and goes out to fight the owners of the pigsty, the legendary Vulture and Dragon Woman. They have come to put an end to the Axes once and for all, and have even brought a heavy funeral bell with them. The Beast gladly accepts the challenge. He demonstrates superhuman strength, the couple's blows, Vulture's technique, and even the devastating lion's roar do not cause him serious harm. The Dragon Woman, gathering her remaining strength, lifts the broken bell and lets out a cry so powerful that it turns into a hurricane. The Beast suffers a serious injury for the first time. But, pretending to be defeated, he delivers a vicious counterattack to the couple. When the 3 fighters become entangled in a tangle, Sum's brother orders Sin to finish them off with a table leg. Instead, Sin unexpectedly breaks the leader's head, and then strikes the Beast's skull. In response, the Beast furiously throws Sin onto the concrete floor. The couple manages to escape, and the Beast breaks Sum's brother's neck. Before losing consciousness, Sin draws a symbol with his blood: a lollipop. The girl remembers both her tormentor and her savior. The Beast, having changed his clothes, sets off in search of his wounded enemies. Meanwhile, the couple bandages Sin, surprised that he survived. For an ordinary person, this would have been impossible. And then the bandages begin to crack. The Axes, led by the Beast, invade the pigsty, but the transformed Sin appears in their path. He seems to have awakened, enlightened. Incredibly fast, he knocks down the bandits like bowling pins. The Beast finally meets a worthy opponent. They clash in a duel, and the Beast, driven to despair, switches to the Toad style, the most powerful in his arsenal. With a powerful blow, he sends Sin into the sky. Among the clouds, he masters the legendary technique, palm falling from the sky, or Buddha's palm. He falls like a fiery meteor. When the Beast begs for mercy, Sin realizes that his enemy is up to something again. With a single movement, he demonstrates his true power, destroying the building behind him. The Beast is finally defeated. Time passes. The mute girl notices a new pastry shop with a picture of a lollipop. Inside, Fat Man and Sin are working, now quiet and calm, as if reborn. They smile at each other and leave together. And somewhere nearby, the old vagrant finds another naive boy, and again sells him wisdom for $10.